Hello, I hope you are well. Say everything in a loving manner. It does not matter what you are saying or what I am reading from a book is truthful, factual, or not. Or even whether it is interesting or not does not actually matter. So I am reading from the first skanda of Bhagavata, chapter 1, 7. Chapter 1, 7. Shaunaka asked, O Sudha, after Narada left, what did the illustrious Lord Badarayana do? He had heard what was desired. Sudha replied, on the western banks of the Saraswati, Brahma's river, there is a hermitage. The rishis refer to it as Shyama Prasa. It is a place that extends sacrifices. Vyasa sat down there in the hermitage, which was adorned with clumps of badari trees. He touched water and concentrated his mind. He fixed his pure mind properly on Bhakti Yoga. He saw the complete Purusha and the Maya that depended on him. It is because of this that a living being is deluded and the Atman comes under the subjugation of the three qualities, though it is actually beyond these and is supreme. It thus suffers hardship because of what it has done. The means for mitigating this hardship are in Bhakti Yoga to Adokshaja. Since people do not know this, the learned one composed the Sattvada Samhita. By listening to this, a man develops devotion to Krishna, the Supreme Purusha. All sorrow, confusion, and fear are destroyed. Having composed the Bhagavata Samhita and arranged it, the sage taught it to his son Shuga, who was fixed on renunciation. Shaunaka asked, the sage was indifferent towards everything and was fixed on renunciation. He had found delight in his own Atman. Why did he study this large text? Sudha replied, there are sages who are free of bondage, finding delight in their own Atmans. However, Hari Urukrama possesses such wonderful qualities that they too find delight in him, even though it is without motives. The intelligence of Badarayana's illustrious son was attracted to Hari's qualities. He was also always loved by those who were devoted to Vishnu. Hence he studied this great account. I will now start to describe Krishna's account by beginning with the birth, deeds and death of the royal sage Parikshit and the departure of the sons of Pandu. In the battle, the brave Kauravas and Srinjayas went to the destination meant for heroes. Struck by Bhima's club, the thigh of Dhritarashtra's son was shattered and he was lamenting. At that time, Drona's son desired to do what would bring pleasure to his master. Seeing that Krishna's sons were asleep in the night, He severed their heads and brought them as a gift. However, he found this disagreeable and condemned the deed. When the mother of the children heard that the sons had been slain, she was severely tormented. Tears started to flow from her eyes and she wept. The one with the diadem, that is Arjuna, comforted her and said, "O fortunate one, I will bring you the head of the assassin, the inferior Brahmana, severing it with arrows released from Gandiva. I will thus wipe away your tears. Having cremated your sons, you can then bathe while standing on his head." Achyuta was his friend and charioteer. Having comforted his beloved with these sweet and colorful words, the one who wielded a fierce bow donned his armour. The one with the ape on his standard advanced towards his preceptor's son on his chariot. From a distance, the slayer of the princes saw him advancing. Anxious in his mind, he fled out of his chariot. To save his life, he fled swiftly, just as Arka was scared of Rudra and fled. Rudra is Shiva and Arka is the sun god. A demon named Vidyunmali was favored by Shiva and obtained a chariot as a boon. However, Arka burned this chariot down. Enraged, Shiva burned Arka down. There is a place in Varanasi named Lolarka where Arka fell down. Alternatively, the text can also be construed as Brahma rather than Arka, Ka being one of Brahma's names. When Brahma desired his own daughter, Shiva chased Brahma. When the Brahmana's son found that his horses were exhausted and there was no other means of saving himself, he thought that he could only save himself with the Brahmashira weapon, a divine weapon named after Brahma, not to be confused with the Brahmastra, also a divine weapon named after Brahma. When the Brahmana's son found that his horses were extinguished, that his horses were exhausted and there was no other means of saving himself, he thought that he could only save himself with the Brahmashira weapon. He touched water, controlled himself and affixed it, even though he did not know how to withdraw it, a danger to his life having presented itself. As a means of purification, water is touched before any deed. The knowledge of a divine weapon meant knowing the mantras to invoke it, release it and withdraw it. However, because Dronacharya thought Ashwatthama was undeserving, he did not teach his son how to withdraw divine weapons. A terrible energy was manifested and enveloped all the directions. Seeing that his life was in danger, Jishnu spoke to Vishnu. Jishnu is Arjuna's name. Arjuna spoke to Krishna. O Krishna, O mighty armed one, O Krishna, O one who grants devotees freedom from fear. For those who are consumed in this cycle of life, you alone are the means of salvation. You are the original Purusha. You are the Lord Himself, superior to nature, Prakriti. Using the power of your consciousness to cast aside Maya, you station your Atman in absolute bliss. You are He. The intelligence of this world of the living is confounded by Maya. For welfare and for dharma and other attributes, you use your own valor to destroy it, desiring to remove the burden of the earth and to ensure the welfare of your devotees who think of nothing but you. You descend in the form of an avatara. This extremely terrible energy is advancing from all the directions. O God of the gods, what is it? Where has it come from? I do not understand it. The illustrious one replied, know this to be the Brahma weapon used by Drona's son. Even though he does not know how to withdraw it, because a threat to his life presented itself, he has invoked it. Except itself, no other weapon is capable of countering it. You know about this extremely powerful weapon. Therefore, use the energy of your own weapon to counter the energy of this weapon. That is, use your own Brahmastra to counter it. Hearing the words spoken by the illustrious one, Falguna, Arjuna, the destroyer of enemy heroes, touched water and circumambulated him, Krishna. He then invoked his own Brahma weapon against the other Brahma weapon. The energy from both these arrows engulfed each other and mingled. The earth, the firmament, and the space between the earth and the firmament were enveloped, as if by the sun and the fire. The energy of both the weapons was seen, and it was as if a great burning down of the three worlds was about to take place. All the subjects thought that the fire of destruction that comes at the end of a yuga would burn them down. Witnessing the destruction of the subjects and the devastation of the worlds, and ascertaining Vasudeva's view, Arjuna withdrew both the weapons. In the Mahabharata, Arjuna withdraws his own weapon. His eyes were coppery red with rage. He advanced towards Gautami's terrible son. Ashwatthama's mother was Kripi, descended from Gautama. And bound him up with ropes like an animal. He used his strength to tie up the enemy with ropes and wished to take him to the camp. However, the illustrious one, with eyes like lotuses, spoke to Arjuna. O Partha, you should not save this Brahma Bandhu. Kill him. While the innocent children were asleep, he killed them in the night. A person who knows about dharma does not kill an enemy who is distracted, mad, intoxicated, without a chariot, terrified, or one who seeks refuge. Nor does he kill a child, a woman, or someone who is foolish. If a person preserves his life by taking away the lives of others, he is wicked and devoid of compassion. Killing such a man is better for him too. Otherwise, he will be brought down because of what he does. I heard what you promised, Panjali, Draupadi. You told the beautiful one that you would bring her the head of the person who killed her sons. O brave one, therefore this evil person should be killed. He is an assassin and has slain your relatives. He is the worst of his lineage and has done what is disagreeable to his own master. Krishna urged Partha, wishing to test his sense of dharma. However, though the great act of killing his son, one of Draupadi's 5 sons was Arjuna's son, had been committed, he did not desire to kill his preceptor's son. Govinda was his beloved charioteer. He took him, Krishna, he took him, Ashwatthama, to his own camp and presented him to his beloved, who is lamenting because her sons had been killed. Krishna, that is Draupadi, saw the preceptor's son brought there, bound with ropes like an animal. Because of the contemptible act he had done, his face was cast downwards. Compassionate because of her feminine nature, she bowed down before him. The virtuous one could not tolerate the sight of his having been brought there, bound in this fashion. She said, "Release him. A Brahmana is always a preceptor. Release him." You became accomplished in all the weapons through his favors, Dronacharya's favors, and learned how to release, control, and withdraw them. You learned Dhanurveda, the science of fighting, and its sacred texts and its mysteries. In the form of his son, the illustrious Drona is still present. It is because of him, Ashwatthama, that Kripi, his wife, did not give up her life. O one who knows about Dharma, O immensely fortunate one, you should not do anything that is a sin. This one belongs to a lineage that must be constantly honored, revered, and worshipped.